Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh thy power, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation and all my fierce anger. For the earth shall be devoured with a fire of my jealousy. Kala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yehoshai. The earth shall be devoured with the fire of Yahweh's jealousy, because the Most High is a consuming fire, and these places are burning up. Deuteronomy 24 and Hebrews 12 talks about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yehoshai being as a burning fire. So we're going to look at this word, take time to wait upon the Most High, because we have to wait upon the Most High, and He's going to rise up to the prey. So we want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yehoshai, to Wada Yahweh Ba'ashem Yehoshai, who gave me the spirit to do this video. Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the sincere Akim. Keep rising, keep pushing. This place is going down through the power of the Spirit for the Ruach HaKodesh. So that's why we're waiting. All we've got to do is wait, man. Stand still and we shall see the salvation of Yahweh, thy power, man. Most High is a God of war, and He showed it with many examples with the Egyptians that came against His children and had them in oppression under a heavy yoke for over 400 years, man. And they was eventually freed, just like we're going to be eventually freed. And the Most High going to rise up to these wicked people. So that's why we're going to continue to wait. And it's not just a waiting in vain kind of waiting. It's a strategic wait. It's a strategic wait. Here's another example of Psalms 37:7 says, rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth. Yeah, these people look like they're prospering, but actually the Most High taking them out, and they're losing all their wealth and all their riches in these fires, man. These fires are going all around through the Mediterranean, man. So they ain't prospering. We can see that clearly now. All the bars of gold and the silver and all the cattle, a lot of it is getting burnt up in these fires, man. These flames of fires. The Most High is a consuming fire. So yeah, some of them a lot of them are still wealthy and they're still prospering, but not for much longer. There's a timer, an egg timer on their head. So that's why we wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth or appeareth to prosper in his ways, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Yeah. So we got to see it for what it is, man. You know, wait. Cease from anger, forsake wrath, fret not thyself, in Psalms 37:8. In any wise to do evil. Cease from anger, forsake wrath, fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Why? For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh thy power shall inherit the earth. We're going to inherit the earth, man. They've only got it for a little while. It's on lease. They've got it on lease, which means they got it temporarily till it's going to be released back to its original owners. Yeah. So they got it on lease. They're borrowing it. This earth is being borrowed. It's been given unto the hands of the wicked temporarily, and that's in Job 24 verse 9. Yeah, I've only got it temporarily. Or is it 9:24? Let me go and let me refresh my memory, clean the dust off that precept. Is it Job 9:24 or Job 24? No. Let's try Job 9:24. 9:24. Yeah, the earth has been given unto the wicked, who covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So they got it temporarily, man. You know, on lease, temporarily for a very short period of time. But that's okay, you know, because we're seeing this place fall, crumble right before our very eyes. They've got it, this earth, you know, and it's on sand, because the wise man built his house upon the rock, and the foolish man, these people, who have the earth, they're foolish in comparison with the wisdom of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yoshai and his elect. They're foolish, and they've got his earth borrowed on a temporary lease. So let's go back to the precept. It's in, cease from anger, forsake wrath, fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh thy power shall inherit the earth. So we're going to look at an example of what you might want to call, I'm going to term it strategic waiting. I'm going to title this video, if you want to prosper, it's a lot to do with waiting or strategic waiting. There is wealth in strategic waiting, something to that effect. So we're going to bring this one out. One of my favorite examples of Joshua, one of our role models. Joshua chapter 8, 1 says, I'm going to break down 1 and 2 verses in this. And Yahweh said unto Joshua, fear not, neither be dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given unto thy hand. Right, see that? This is the beginning of war right here. And we're going to see some very, very good examples of strategic waiting. I have given unto thy hand the king of Ai, and his people, and his city, and his land. Thou shalt do to Ai and her kings as thou didst unto Jericho and her kings. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall ye take for a prey unto yourselves. Lay thee an ambush for the city behind it. Right. So Joshua arose, and all the people of war go up against Ai. Joshua chose out 30,000 men of valor. That's right, men of valor, and sent them away by night. Right, you see that? Joshua chose out 30,000 men of valor, and sent them away by night. And he commanded them, saying, behold, ye shall lay in wait. There is that word again. Shall lay in wait against the city, even behind the city. Go not very far from the city, but be ye all ready. Strategic waiting, you see? But you're waiting. There's a time period. Yeah, as it says in Ecclesiastes, there's a time to wait and there's a time to act. A time for peace and there's a time for war. So we're waiting strategically. As it goes on in 5. And all the people that are with me will reproach unto the city, and all the people that are with me will approach unto the city, and it shall come to pass when they come out against us as at the first, that we will flee before them. See, this is the plan. For they will come out after us till we have drawn them from the city, for they will say, they flee before us as at the first thereof. Therefore we will flee before them. Then we shall rise up from this ambush and seize upon the city, for Yahweh thy power will deliver it unto your hand. Right, you follow me? You following me? This is all strategy going on. And it shall be when ye have taken the city, that we shall set the city on fire, according to the commandment of Yahweh shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. Joshua in 9. Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush and abode between Bethel and Ai, and the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, numbered the people, and went up, he and his elders of Israel, before the people of Ai. And all the people, even the people of war that were with him, went up and drew nigh, and came before the city, and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between them and Ai. And he took about 5,000 men. So he took 5,000 men out of the 30,000, and set them to lay in ambush between Bethel, because this thing has never been about numbers. Right? set them to lay between Bethel and Ai on the west side of the city. It's all to show the Most High's power. The Most High does whatever he wants. You can use stone if you wanted to. In this case, he's using the men of valor, 5,000 men of valor to go up against his city. And we're going to see how many people that was in the city. The eventuality of the city. Joshua went that night unto the midst of the valley, and it came to pass when the king of Ai saw it, that they hasted and rose up early, and the men of the city went outside Israel to battle, and he and all his people at the time appointed before the plain, but he wist not that there were liars in ambush against him behind the city. Let me take my time with that one. Savor it. And all the people at the time appointed before the plain, but he wist not that there were liars in ambush against him behind the city. Right. So they didn't know this was an ambush that was going to take place, right? Right. So they set this snare to wait. He said, and it came to pass when the king of Ai saw it, that they hasted and rose up early, and the men of the city went out against Israel to battle. Right, they went against Israel to battle, right? Ai and his army, and all his people at the time appointed before the plain. But he didn't know. That's it. Didn't know that there were liars in ambush against him behind the city. So there was a snare waiting for him, an ambush. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them, and they pursued after Joshua and drawn away from the city. They ran away from their own city, you see. So really there was lured into an ambush, and there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel, in Ai or Bethel, that went not out after Israel. So there was no one left in the city, and they left the city open and pursued after Israel. Right, we're getting to the point. And Yahweh power said unto Joshua, stretch out the spear that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it unto thine hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city, and the ambush arose quickly out of their place, and they ran, and soon as he had stretched out his hand, and they entered unto the city and took it, and hasted and set the city on fire. So their house is on fire. What you seen today all around in the Mediterranean, in Greece, in Turkey, in Spain, in other places like Italy, taking it on fire. Basically, the world is on fire now. That's what you're seeing now, man. Yeah, they fled this way out that way. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended up to the heaven. Yeah, the place is on fire. Greece, Turkey, right now is on place. Those places are on fire, man. There's floods. There's floods now in Haiti after that massive earthquake in Haiti. You know, they're probably going to find loads and loads of dead bodies, and it's all judgment, because the Most High is turning up this heat. He's turning it up on the wicked, man. And he's taking no prisoners. Only, like I said in my previous video, only the elect shall escape this judgment. Only the elect shall escape this judgment. I want to go back to 19. It says, and the ambush rose quickly out of their place, and they ran as soon as they had stretched out his hand, and they entered unto the city and took it, and hasted and set the city on fire. Right, Most High is a consuming fire. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended upon to heaven, and they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. Where they're gonna lay this, they gave in, man. They totally was outwitted. You see the power of waiting. There's a time for everything. A time to, like it says Ecclesiastes, there's a time to wait and there's a time to act. And this was all done by the plan of Yahweh B'Shem Yeshua. He said he's going to give Ai and all his land and his cattle unto Joshua's hand. And he did what he was asked to do. And let's see what happened. Let's see what happened in 21. It says, when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again and slew the men of Ai. Kala Yahweh B'Shem Yeshua. We love all them. You love that, man, you know. You see, when you listen to the Most High, you see, and you have patience, you know what I'm saying? And you display that waiting spirit, strategic waiting spirit, not just a nonchalant waiting spirit, but a strategic waiting spirit. Yeah, an act of war. And 22 says, and the other issued out of the city against them, so they were in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them, so that they let none of them remain or escape. Right, and the king of Ai they took alive and brought him to Joshua. Yeah, you wait patiently, you get everything. Clean up everything. You don't just get 1 and 2. If you act sometimes presumptuously, you might get 1 and 2. You might even get 3. But if you wait patiently on the Most High strategy, you get all of them and the king. Kala Yahweh B'Shem Yeshua. And it came to pass, when Israel had made an end of slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, he slain all of them in the wilderness wherein they chased them, and when they were all fallen on the edge of the sword until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned unto Ai and smote it with the edge of the sword. Right, say no more. And so it was that in all that fell that day, both of men and of women, were 12,000, even all men of Ai. You see that? You only needed fighting, and it was 5,000 of the Israelites, our forefathers, us. There was 5,000 of us, and there were 12,000 of them that fell, men and women. So it's not about numbers, man, and it's about being strategic. Yeah, just listening, basically waiting on the Most High Yahweh thy power. 26 says, for Joshua drew not his hand back, wherein he stretched out the spear until he had utterly destroyed all the inhabitants of Ai. That's what I like, you see. 27. Only the cattle and the spoil of the city Israel took for a prey unto themselves, according to the word of Yahweh thy power, which he commanded Joshua. Right, and Joshua burnt Ai and made it a heap forever, even a desolation, until this day. And that's history. That's written in the book of Joshua. Right? So that's why we're going to learn from examples like this. Many examples of the Most High saying wait. With Moses too, he said wait. Yeah, with Zephaniah, we're going to end with that precept. Zephaniah, this is what he said to Zephaniah, man. Zephaniah 3, and yeah, so many other examples we could go into future videos. Waiting patiently, waiting strategically on Yahweh thy power. Zephaniah 3 and 8 says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all, not some, not 1 and 2, yeah, not 3, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Kala Yahweh B'Shem Yeshua, the water to B'Shem Yeshua. Give me the spirit to do this video and rise up. Yes, the house of David is rising, and the wicked is falling, and everything the wicked have done to us is falling upon their own head. Enough said.